And we're going. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on fuselage done. When we click on fuselage done, okay, that's going to open up the fuselage. We're going to click the download button. So we download it, and now you can see fuselage done right down here. Okay, select this little arrow and click on open. And once you get this open, okay, you're going to be ready to go to work. I am just closing out of this because I'm not saving those changes that's from last hour. And I'm going to click on hide here. Okay, I'm going to do a fit scene. Okay, and I am going to on my fuselage, I am going to go ahead and I am going to right click on the fuselage. I don't know. Let's not hide it yet, but we are going to hide it. We're going to do a hide selected. Before we do a hide selected, I like to get things positioned. So let's do a front. Actually, I like the back better. Okay, let's do a back, and we're going to drag a block and put it right above the fuselage, right here in this space. Okay, so once you have that block drug in, now we're going to hide the fuselage. So we're going to right click on fuselage and we're going to select hide selected. Okay, we'll do a fit scene. Okay, we have our block in here, and I am going to right click on my, I'm going to click on my block. Okay, until it turns yellow and we get the push pins. Okay, once we get the push pins, I'm going to right click and I'm going to select edit size box, and we're going to set the length at 25. We're going to set the height at 33, and we're going to set the width at what?
27.
1. The width is going to be 1, and we're going to click OK. Okay, so then we're going to click in the blue space. We have something that looks like this. Okay, and we're ready to go. Now over here in your scene browser, okay, where you see mine says part 6, I'm going to click on part 6, and I'm clicking 3 times. And instead of part 6, we're going to name this vertical stabilizer. Okay, so we've changed it from part 6 to vertical stabilizer. And that's a more descriptive name. It's the name of the part that we're building. Okay, so now we just need to come in here. We need to do a few extrudes to get this looking like we want it to look like. So we're going to click Extrude Wizard. Okay, Extrude Wizard right here. We select this green dot in the middle, so we make sure we're extruding on this face. You guys should be expert extruders by now. We always do the same thing. Then we click Remove Material, and we're going to click on Finish, of course. Okay, you get this message. Remember, continue without change. Do not show this dialog box again. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to start extruding. Our overall length of 25 is good. Let's start down here in the bottom right-hand corner with a 2-point line going straight up. So we're going to right-click on this green dot and not unclick, but we drag up nice and straight, and we unclick. Then we're going to enter 10. Okay, this length is going to be 10 millimeters, and we click OK. So there really is no excuse for being behind, because a 10 millimeter line, you guys have made so many lines. Okay, you know how to make a 10 millimeter line. So we're going to click OK. Now we're going to come to the top left-hand corner. We're going to click on the green dot. And in the top left-hand corner, we're going to drag to the right along the top edge, nice and straight. We let go. This line is going to be 15. So we're going to enter 15 and click OK. All right. So now the next step is we're going to left click on 2 points. We're going to left click here. Okay, that's point number 1. We left click there. And we're going to left click on the second point. So we've just connected the dots, okay? And that was 2 left clicks. Okay, so just like that, I mean, this is how easy this is, guys. Polyline, okay, straight up, over, down, straight, and this really doesn't matter. Okay, and as long as we click right here and enclose this spot, okay, then when we click on finish, okay, click on finish, and just like that, we have our vertical stabilizer. Okay, so now let's see if we can insert this into the slot of our fuselage. To do that, we're going to turn the fuselage on by right-clicking it and doing a show all. Okay, so we right-click the fuselage, we do a show all, we're going to do a fit scene. Okay, so we can see our vertical stabilizer, we can see our fuselage. We need to orient our vertical stabilizer so that it is facing the correct way. To do that, we're going to click on it in our image. So it's selected here. You can see it's blue. And then I'm going to select the tri-ball from up at the top. Okay, the tri-ball, I'm going to click on the tri-ball assembly. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on this button of the tri-ball. You'll see a line goes all the way through. Okay, now I want to orient this. Okay, I want to rotate this. How far? How many degrees? To have it flip 180 degrees. I heard somebody say it. So we enter a 180 and we press enter. And just like that, okay, we've oriented our vertical stabilizer so that it's ready to slip into the notch that we extruded for it. Now, let's do a orbit so we can see that notch a little bit. So I'm going to orbit down. Okay, so there we can see our notch. That's where we're headed. Okay, but before we get there, we need to move our tri-ball. So what I'm going to do, you know what? Actually, I think, to be honest with you, our tri-ball is going to be fine right there. So see this middle red dot in the tri-ball? Okay, the middle red dot here, we're going to right-click on, and we're going to select to midpoint. So we select to midpoint, and then we're going to choose edge. So we've selected to midpoint edge. Okay, I am going to zoom in. I'm orbiting and I'm zooming in, guys. What I'm zooming in on, so I'm trying to see the bottom of this notch. So I'm keeping orbiting and I'm zooming until I see the bottom of this notch. I actually want to see this line right here. See the green line that I'm on? Okay, this is the bottom line that we're going to match up with, the midpoint edge. So I'm just going to highlight it. It's going to turn green. I click on it. And why didn't that go? Because that should go. I'm going to right click and do that one more time. So to midpoint edge. Okay, and then I said we orbit until we see this edge right here. We click. Why is that? That should be. Oh, it did go in. Okay, it's just off to the side, which is really strange. Okay, so for some reason, when we're snapping that to the midpoint edge, it is offset. So the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to have to do a assembly. So we're going to come to assembly here, the assembly tab, positioning constraints. Okay, When we do positioning constraints, we're presented with a couple different options here. You can see constraint type is by default it's parallel. We're going to do a mate. Okay, and when we select mate, it's going to ask us, to click on the surface we want to make. We want to make this surface right here with the surface right here. Okay, and when we do that, it then inserts our horizontal stabilizer into that notch nice and neatly. And we're going to click the green check mark. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We do a fit scene. I'm going to do a back, and look at that, guys. Just like that, our vertical stabilizer, it's done. It's in the notch. I mean, this plane is coming together. So that was a real quick overview. I could even show you how to import the horizontal stabilizer. That's about a 30-second job. We come up here to the IronCAD symbol, and we're going to click on File, okay, and we're going to click on Import. And what do we want to import? Okay, we're going to go to where I saved it last time, which was in My Documents. And under My Documents, we're going to click on 7th grade. And I'm looking for the horizontal stabilizer done. Here it is. So I'm going to select that one. And I am going to just click right behind my notch there. Okay. So a couple of things that we can see. We do need to orbit the stabilizer. So I'm going to click on the tri-ball. Actually, let me F10. I need to click on my horizontal stabilizer first, then the tri-ball. Okay. Now I want to rotate it. So I'm going to click this push pin. We're going to rotate it just like we did the other part, 180 degrees. Okay. That's going to flip it to the front. We hit enter. Okay. So it is now ready to be positioned in the slot. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the space bar. When I press the space bar, you'll see the tri-ball turns white. The tri-ball is going to turn white, and I'm going to be able to right-click on this red dot that's in the center, and I'm going to be able to say I want it to move to the midpoint edge. And I'm going to select the midpoint edge right here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, just make sure I get that top edge. Okay, you can see there's two edges. We don't want to select the bottom edge. Let's select the top edge. So we select the top edge. It moves there. We're going to push the space bar. Pushing the space bar turns the tri-ball blue. That means it's now going to move the entire part. Okay, so let's right-click on the center red dot again and say to midpoint edge. And now we want to find the midpoint edge. Okay, and the midpoint edge that we want to find is this one of our notch right here. So we're going to select this edge by clicking it, and that's going to insert the horizontal stabilizer into there. Okay, so we're almost done. I'm going to press F10, get out of my tri-ball. But look, guys, we're just a little bit off. So we need to do a mate on this one. So we're going to go to Assembly. We're going to select Positioning Constraints. We're going to make sure our constraint type is mate. We're going to click on this surface. Then we're going to orbit so we can see this surface right here. And we're going to click on this surface. And when we do that, we're going to click the little check mark to apply. And just like that, our horizontal stabilizer is nicely, evenly fitted into our item. See there?
That's so beautiful.
So the only thing that you guys have left to do for your final is you have to make the wing. Okay? Your wing, I would love to see some swept forward. I would love to see some delta. I would love to see some unique designs for your wings. So what wing that you make for your fuselage, that's up to you. I believe, you know, I can go over, making a wing really quickly, so we can just throw one on here to finish this up. That would be super easy. Okay, all we would have to do is go to feature here and pull a new block on. Okay, so I pull a new block on here. I'm going to click on the block one time. Okay, the block is going to turn yellow. Let's right click and edit this size box. And let's make the width of our wing. Okay, that's the wingspan of our plane, 200. And let's make the length, that's from the front of the wing to the back of the wing. Let's make that be 38. And let's make the height be 1. Okay, just like that. Okay, we have a wing that is, you can see it goes right through our vertical stabilizer. That'd be kind of cool to put a wing up there too, but no, we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to click on the vertical stabilizer. Let's hide it. So we're going to right click and hide selected. Okay, we don't want to see it. We're working on the wing. We can hide the fuselage as well. Okay, hide selected. Well, we might as well hide the the horizontal stabilizer. So hide selected. Okay, so now I'm going to do a fit scene here. I'm going to do a top with my view cube. Okay, and I'm going to do a fit scene again. We're ready to do our wing. Now, this is where you guys kind of have free reign. Okay, if you recall, the swept forward wings kind of were V-shaped with a V pointing to the front. So I'm trying to think of a good way to do that. If we're going to do a V pointing to the front, let's go ahead on this part 9. I'm gonna click on mine. I'm going to rename this to wing, first of all, okay, just to give it a more meaningful name. And I'm going to take and I'm going to click the plus sign, this block. Let's pull this length back. I'm pulling it back quite a bit. It started out as 38. I'm going to pull it back up. I'm going to set it to be 138. Okay, and the reason that I'm doing that is because I'm gonna work on making a swept forward wing design. Okay, because I want something that's going to be a little bit unique. So, okay, so I'm doing a swept forward wing design. Okay, and I have stretched it out to 138. And I'm going to start with the extrude wizard. And I click on this surface right here, just like always, remove material and finish. Okay. Okay, remove material. We've done it 100 times. Okay, so now we're ready to start editing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center, the exact center of this edge. Okay. We know that we're 100, so I'm going to come down. I am going to come down 100 would be in the exact center. 2-point line. So I right click right here. I drag straight down. Okay. I want a length of 100. So right there, my length is 100. Okay. Now I'm going to connect some dots here. For my swept forward design, I'm going to try to figure out, do I want to come, yeah, let's go from right here. I'm going to go from right here to right here. And I'm just doing 2-point lines. I'm left clicking. And I'm left clicking. And I'm not worried about the length because I'm clicking at this point and I'm clicking at this point. So because I'm clicking the endpoints, I'm not concerned with the length. I'm just letting our geometry determine that. Okay, so we want it 38 because that's the same width as our other wing was 38 total. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 2-point line. I'm just clicking on this white line right here, about right here. Okay, I'm going to right click and drag. Make sure you get this green line so you're straight coming off there at a 90-degree angle. Okay, and let's enter 38. Okay, so we do that, 38. Okay, now let's just take a 2-point line and let's come to right here. We want to be, for some reason, okay, we want it to be tangent. Wow, why is that? Okay, so for the angle, this is being really picky, okay? Because it's being so difficult for the angle, I'm going to press the tab key. I'm going to go tab. Well, that's not even letting me tab down. I want 145 because I know 135, right? Angle. Okay, there we go. Right there. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to do a green line straight forward. As soon as you get that T showing you're at a 90-degree angle, that's where you want it. Okay. I'm going to use a trim command. I'm going to trim out this line right here. I'm going to trim off this line right here. I am going to use a 2-point line. I guess I could have put this one in earlier. We're doing right to here. And we're going to make this 38 right here. So I'm going to do a 2-point line right here, dragging forward. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to enter 38 and press enter. And I'm going to do a 2-point line. I am right clicking here. I'm going to intersect right there. I guess I didn't need to right click, but clicking right here and right. Actually, I'm going to hit escape. We'll use the mirror to fill this in. Let's use the mirror command. Rather than recreate everything on the other side, we'll mirror what we want. So I'm going to trim a little bit here. I'm going to trim this off, and I'm going to trim this off. I'm actually going to trim this off. And I'm ready to, I'm ready to trim this, or actually, I am ready to mirror this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to select mirror. I'm going to select the entities 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I just realized I trimmed off my mirror axis. Is it going to let me? I'm going to put this in. We have to have a mirror axis. So I'm putting the mirror axis back, that line back in there for mirror axis. And I'm going back to mirror, select entities. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'm going to do choose mirror axis. And right here's my axis. You can see it's going to mirror it. So I click the check mark. And just like that, we have mirrored it to the other side. I'm going to do a trim command. Trim this out. And now, guys, I think, trying to think here, is this going to trim away? Okay, so I'm going to also trim this line. I'm going to trim this line. Okay, I'm trimming a couple things here. I am going to do a 2-point line from here to here. And I'm going to do a poly line from here over, down, over, and straight up. And then I'm going to click on finish. Okay, so when I click on finish, there's my swept forward wing design. And, you by no means, this is just a 100% example of what, you can create. But if I want to put that in my plane to see what it looks like, I'm going to right click on the fuselage and I'm going to do a show all. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a fit scene. I'm gonna put this in there. So I'm going to click on my wing. I am going to orbit this using my tri-ball. Okay, I am going to click on this one right here. I want to orbit this 180 degrees. Hit enter. Okay, I want to right click on this right here, and I want to go to midpoint of the edge. What edge? I want the midpoint of this edge right here. Okay. You know what? I forgot to click spacebar. Click spacebar first. Right click on the edge. Right click on this to midpoint edge. Then we can select this edge. Maybe. Why is that not? Okay, it's white. To midpoint edge. That is weird that it's not letting me select that edge. I do not know why it's not letting me select that edge. Right click to midpoint. So you're going to let me select the bottom edge. Okay, it is not letting me select the bottom edge either. What about the back edge? So I'm going to do a right click to midpoint edge. And I'm going to enter it right there. Wow. Oh, you know what? I'll bet you it's because that line was through the middle. Guys, I think that's why. Right click to midpoint edge. Okay. So now I'm going to zoom in again here. I think we should be good. There we go. That was it. Okay. So now I'm going to hit the space bar again. And I am going to come in here and I'm going to right click with it blue and we say to midpoint edge. And I'm going to I'm going to select this line right here, just like that. Okay, so here's my swept forward wing design. I don't know how good that, it kind of looks cool. I don't know how good it's going to fly. If you wanted to move it back a little bit, okay, you could just click on this right here and drag it back. Okay, so you can see, maybe you want to drag it back all the way. So there's my swept forward wing design. If I do a view cube and a top, okay, you can kind of see it there. I'm going to do the F10, get rid of my tri-ball. So this airplane, 100% done. Okay. I can go ahead and I can show you how that we're going to print some of these vertical stabilizers. let's see how many of these that we can print on one. So what I'm going to do is for the vertical stabilizer, I'm going to right click here on vertical stabilizer. No, I'm not going to right click. I'm just going to select it, and now I'm going to come up here to File. I'm going to do an Export Part. Okay. Okay. I'm exporting this vertical stabilizer, but I need to change it to an STL, stereolithography file, so that it will print on our 3D printer. And I click on Save, and it's going to pop up a little pop-up. We're going to go to Custom. We're going to change the surface here to 150 so we get better print results. We click OK. Export completed. Now I'm going to open up Catalyst, which you guys don't even have Catalyst. But I open up Catalyst, and it's right here. I'm going to print some of these off. We'll see how long it takes and how many we can do. Okay, so here is Catalyst. Hey, Kyle, would you push the resume button on our 3D printer there? Thank you. Okay, so we're going to send this to the printer in just a second. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go to File in Catalyst. I'm going to do an Open STL. And we're going to find that 7th grade folder. Vertical stabilizer right here. We're going to select Open. Okay. Now you can see that this is probably not the most efficient way to do this. So let's go to Orientation. And we want to orient. Let's go Z. And actually, let's go X. Let's do X. No. There we go. Okay, so Y. So I think this looks. I'll bet you we could get a whole bunch of them on there. I don't know how long. I'm just curious. I'm going to add this to the pack, and we'll see how long this takes to process STL. And let's do an add to pack. Let's look at our pack. Okay, so if I need 40 of these, I'm gonna see if we can make 40 copies. So I'm gonna copy. So I'm gonna go to copy here. Number of copies. I'm gonna try and put in 44. Click OK. Select this model. Copy. Number of copies, 44. Okay. Guys, there's all of our stabilizers. It's going to take 4 hours and 18 minutes to finish, to print all of those. I am tempted to go ahead and start printing them. I wonder wonder what the time would be if I put in some horizontal stabilizers. We're gonna just go ahead and click on print. 2.08. I am going to have to add some model material at some point, but we're going to go ahead and click on print. And just like that, our vertical stabilizers we made today are being sent to the printer as we speak. So they're going to start